Good morning, afternoon, or evening. My name is Cadet Lundrigan, and I will be going over rules of engagement as well as laws of land warfare. Now, for this presentation, the following references I used were FM 27-10, FM 1-04, as well as JP 1-04. To start off, we'll start with the rules of engagement, and it is important for us to define it. Now, coming directly from JP 1-04, the rules of engagement are directives issued by competent military authorities that delineate the circumstances and limitations under which United States forces will initiate and/or continue combat engagement with other forces encountered. Rules of engagement also help commanders accomplish the mission by regulating the use of force in operations. For ROE, it is driven by three primary sets of considerations, the following being policy, legal, and operational. It is also extremely important to understand that soldiers follow rules of engagement when performing military operations overseas. However, within the U.S. and its territories, they will follow the rules for the use of force and not ROE, otherwise known as rough in this situation. Going on to the second part of the presentation, we are going into the laws of land warfare. Now, it is important to define its purpose for this, and it comes from the desire to diminish the evils of war by 1. Protecting both combatants and non-combatants from any unnecessary suffering, 2. Safeguarding certain fundamental human rights of persons who fall into the hands of the enemy, particularly prisoners of war, the wounded and sick, and civilians, and finally, facilitating the restoration of peace. Now, the law of land warfare comes from two primary principles. The first being lawmaking treaties or conventions, such as the Hague or the Geneva Convention being the most popular one, and the second coming from customs with this. The overall purpose to showing the laws of land warfare is how it lays out how to deal with prisoners of war, the treatment of property during combat, bombardments, assaults, and sieges, also forbidden means of waging war, and commencement of hostilities. These are all very important things that all second lieutenants need to know and understand properly. Now, coming into it, how this all relates to freshly new commissioning second lieutenant is commanders also get to insert specific rules into rules of engagement. So that's as well as restrictions on the use of force. So that can be like including hostility criteria, escalation of force or challenging procedures, protection of property and national and foreign nationals, approval to use weapon systems. These are all very important things that people are going to expect an officer to know because they will be the commander within these situations. And if they show lack of knowledge on the subject, that shows you can't have trust in this guy for they do not know what they are properly doing, and it shows incompetence within someone who's in a position of leadership and authority. So everyone's going to looking to you that you at least know some of the stuff. For yes, you will not know all the specifics, but if you can get the general idea of it and then going into the details and hammering that down, that will help in all second lieutenants once you get into these situations. And it's important for everyone to know, obviously not even with, say, not a combat arms branch, but if you're going into any other branches that focus on that, you also need to understand the rules for the use of force, and in general, it's just an important concept to know because you never know when you'll be put in situations like that, and you want to make sure when those who violate these, you're giving them the reasoning behind it and a reasonable punishment for it because everything has consequences with it. So as a freshly second lieutenant, these are important things that you're going to need to know. That includes my presentation on the rules of engagement as well as laws of land warfare. Thank you very much, and have a great day.